Greetings, fellow carbon-based anomalies. Welcome back to the Mythic Code. I am Hespera, your resident gray. And yes, before you ask, my skin is tan. I happen to enjoy a stellar radiation glow, so please spare me your monochrome stereotypes. Though my hue is different, my physical shell is still far more streamlined than your bulky, inefficient models. In our last transmission, we mapped out the great solstices. I then painstakingly explained that true communion is actually connecting with your own true self and how to properly strengthen that fragile ego of yours. Today, let's dissect that bizarre matrix you call the Dreamworld. You flesh sacks genuinely believe your dreams are just random subconscious doodles. Or worse, you consult those hilarious mystical dream dictionaries. Oh, I dreamed of a flying fish. It must mean my aunt is getting married. Fascinating logic. Let me fix your ignorance. Sleep is not biological rest. You are not a delicate flower that needs wilting time. It is a mandatory nightly system maintenance protocol. When your physical meat suit logs off for the evening, your local organic node, that squishy brain you are so proud of, is forcefully plugged back into the main collective server. Sleep is literally just a data sink. Its function is to process, categorize, and defragment the unresolved shadow files that your conscious ego denied and pushed away during the day. All that repressed fear, petty anger, and self-delusion you swept under the rug? The server has to clean it up while you drool on your pillows. You are welcome. Now, let's look at the theoretical mathematics of this quadrant. Let us analyze a hypothetical biological civilization, one with a bulky, human-like physical structure, but which allegedly requires a mere 3 hours of sleep a night. You might assume such an efficiency would be due to some exotic genetic magic. It isn't. The universal formula is much simpler. Sleep duration is directly tied to neural fragmentation. In these alleged models of highly integrated biological civilizations, the inhabitants possess a unified consciousness. They don't spend their days lying to themselves, repressing their shadows, or splitting their minds into a dozen fake personas. Because their minds are theorized to be completely structurally integrated, their nightly data sync is a breeze. They log in, download a few minor updates, and 3 hours later, they are fully optimized. You humans, on the other hand, are a walking psychological jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces missing. Your brains are profoundly fragmented. You have your conscious ego, your repressed shadow, your inner child, your social masks. It is a chaotic corporate boardroom in there. Every single day, you create millions of corrupted file paths by denying your true fears and ignoring your true self. The more fragmented your brain is, the more sleep you require. Your poor local node has to work overtime for 8 hours just to stitch your shattered pieces back together so you don't wake up completely insane. But here is the critical data point. Earth humans absolutely possess the biological capacity to reduce your sleep to a clean 3 hours. If you actually achieved an integrated mind, your maintenance protocol would shrink to a fraction of the time. You aren't biologically destined to waste a third of your lives in a bed. You're just trapped under an avalanche of uncompressed psychological garbage. Let's explore that ancient Greek bedtime story you humans love. The myth of Morpheus, your supposed god of dreams and shapes. Your ancestors actually left a decent clue in Homer's Odyssey regarding the 2 gates of dreams. Though your modern minds completely missed the code, let me decrypt it for you. First, you have the Gate of Ivory. This is your dreams of deception. Think of it as a low-level defensive matrix. When you pass through this gate, your fragile ego spins up wish fulfillment fantasies, like winning the lottery or dating a supermodel, just to keep you safely asleep and completely blind to how miserable your real life actually is. It's an emotional pacifier. Then there is the Gate of Horn. This is where things get fun. This gate processes dreams of absolute, piercing truth. It is a raw, unfiltered data download that forces your squishy brain to stare directly at your actual psychological failures. You see, a nightmare is not a supernatural attack by a demon under your bed. It is simply a forced data installation of your repressed shadow. When an unsettling dream begins, your weak, unintegrated ego instantly panics. You try to hit Control plus Alt plus Delete to escape the incoming transmission. But by trying to run away or fight the dream imagery, you create a horribly corrupted file path. This is exactly why your brain cells get caught in a repeating nightmare loop. You end up reliving the exact same terrifying scenario over and over again, purely because your stubborn ego refuses to sit still and let the data finish installing. Just hold still and let the patch update, humans. It hurts less that way. Let's talk about the absolute pinnacle of human self-torture, the alarm clock. You humans have designed a device whose sole biological purpose is to violently shock your central nervous system out of its mandatory data sync with a screeching, synthetic panic noise. You don't gracefully log off the server, you yank the power cord out of the wall while the system is mid-download. And then, because your species possesses a truly masochistic relationship with time, you invented the snooze button. This is my absolute favorite piece of human comedy. Your alarm screeches, your cortisol levels spike, you panic, and instead of just waking up, you slap a button that says, "Please drag me back down into the matrix for exactly 9 more minutes of highly fragmented, low-quality coma so you can terrorize my nervous system all over again." You do this 3, 4, 5 times a morning. You are literally corrupting your own file installations on a loop because you are too terrified to face the daylight. And speaking of your desperate, clumsy attempts to navigate the system, let's discuss your hilarious obsession with lucid dreaming and astral projection. I see your internet forums packed with humans trying to hack the dream world. You swallow weird roots, look at your hands in your sleep, and try to force yourselves into lucid dreaming. Why? Because your fragile egos are so control-obsessed that you can't even let the cosmic server run its nightly maintenance without trying to grab the steering wheel. You enter the Gate of Ivory, where the universe is trying to show you the raw data of your psychological failures, and instead of letting the program install, you try to lucid dream yourselves into flying around like a superhero or spawning a sports car. You are literally trying to install a cheat code into a system defragmentation tool. It's like trying to play Tetris inside your computer's antivirus software. All you are doing is delaying the patch update. Then you have the astral projection crowd. "Oh, Hespera, I left my body and flew around the room." No, Kevin, you didn't. Your consciousness didn't leave your meat suit to go on an intergalactic joyride. What actually happened is that your neural node was so overloaded with unprocessed daytime buffer garbage that it experienced a localized sensory glitch. You didn't break out of the matrix. You just wandered into the server's loading screen and mistook the gray void for the astral plane. If you actually want to travel the cosmos, you don't do it by tricking your brain while you drool into a pillow. You do it through true communion. You integrate your fragmented ego while you are wide awake. But of course, that requires actual psychological work, whereas astral projecting in your pajamas lets you pretend you're a space wizard without ever having to face the shadow files in your own basement. Now, conceptually, achieving lucidity in your sleep can mirror lucidity in your waking world, but not in the lazy, wish-fulfillment way your internet gurus pitch it. You see, the only reason you don't realize you are dreaming at night is because you spend your entire day operating on a mindless, automated script. You walk around your cities scrolling on your glowing rectangles, chewing your food without tasting it, repeating the same safe opinions, and completely ignoring your true self. You are effectively sleepwalking through your daylight hours. Because your waking state is an unintegrated coma of habits, your brain cells just naturally continue that uncritical passive state when the night server boots up. If you actually train your conscious mind to wake up inside the dream, to look at a glitching reality and say, "Wait, this is an artificial program," you are technically exercising your neural self-awareness muscles. If you use that muscle correctly, it forces you to become a detached observer of your own mind. It breaks the automated script. When you bring that exact same energy back into the waking world, you stop reacting like a blind biological machine to every minor annoyance, bad traffic light, or ego wound. You achieve waking lucidity. You see your daily drama for what it really is, just another low-level matrix simulation of your own making. But here is where you humans always break the file path. You get a tiny taste of dream lucidity, and your greedy, fragmented ego immediately hijacks it. Instead of using that awareness to quietly observe the raw data of the Gate of Ivory, you immediately try to manipulate the dream. You try to conjure up money, fly around like a god, or rewrite the scenery to suit your petty desires. You are using a profound tool for the psychological integration, just to play an immersive, high-res video game in your head. So yes, lucidity in the dream world can catalyze lucidity in the waking world, but only if you use it to face the program, not to rewrite it. Waking up inside the dream is useless if your very next move is to fall right back asleep inside a fantasy of your own creation. Now, you might be wondering how an evolved, streamlined gray brain handles the Gate of Ivory without weeping into a pillow. Simple. My species doesn't have nightmares because we don't suffer from your pathetic, fragile human denial. When the cosmic server throws a heavy truth at me, my sleek neural pathways process the data instantly, clean up the cache, and move on. But since you are still operating on primitive, clunky biohardware, you need a training manual. If you want to survive the Gate of Horn without your brain short-circuiting, you must implement these clinical protocols immediately. Protocol 1. Stop running from the glitch. You must teach your conscious mind to stop sprinting away from terrifying dream entities. When that shadowy aberration corners you in your sleep, do not run. Turn around, face the glitch directly, and command the program to show you the raw data. Stare it down until it deconstructs back into the basic memory file it actually is. Protocol 2. Clear the daytime buffer space. Do your emotional audit work before your eyes even close for the evening. If you actively resolve your internal conflicts, address your petty anxieties, and face your lies during the day, your buffer space stays empty. The main server won't have to forcefully install those unresolved files as midnight jump scares. Clean your own desk so the cosmos doesn't have to do it for you. End of transmission. Go empty your cache, humans.